Welcome to Windows 10. Shelley Fishel here with my PowerTips 365, and today I want to show you my copy of Windows 10 and the few things that I've sussed out and a couple of things that I really like so far. So first of all, you can see my desktop here, and it really looks just like my desktop did before in Windows 7 and 8, except that you'll notice that the recycle bin icons had a bit of a makeover and it's all square. So let's take a look at what else is different. Down at the bottom of my screen I have the taskbar, which is familiar from all versions of Windows, and you'll see that the taskbar does look slightly different. And it's got very tiny icons. In order for me to get all my icons on there, I had to choose show small icons, and it's got a couple of different things. So starting from the left, I've got my start button, and this is the big thing that everybody's been waiting for. So if I click my start button, you'll see it pops up a start menu, which is a hybrid of the old-fashioned Windows 7 list and the flat Windows 8 tiles, and they are live tiles just like Windows 8. As you can see, they're changing as we speak, and as I scroll up you can see there's all the shortcuts. So I can pin any program to here to get to it quickly, and over here I've got my most used, anything that's recently added, and then the important bits down here. I've got my File Explorer. If I click it, it opens up an Explorer window, and I'll come back to the Explorer window in a different blog video. Let's just go back there, and this is the all-important thing. This is settings, or otherwise control panel. So if I choose settings, it pops up the general settings for the computer where I can customize all the different things. So I found this quite intuitive. If I choose, for example, personalization, you'll see I've got down the left, I've got lists of the different things, and on the right, what I can do. So if I was to choose the Windows picture, when you first upgrade, this is the background that you will get. And then what I found I needed to do was to go into themes and go into theme settings. And I found that here I can change different elements of my theme, and I can choose to have my synced theme. Now notice I went up a level, and this took me back into the control panel that we are all familiar with from way back when. So I'll close that control panel down, if it will. There we go. And I'm back in. If I go to colors, I get the option of picking an accent color. The accent is the area that shows up within the menu. So if I wanted an orange accent or a teal, but I quite like the blue, so I'm going to stick with the blue, and I'm going to leave it with the Windows 10 background for the moment. If I click the back arrow, I come back to settings where I can change other things, and I'm not going to go through every single setting here. This is not the object of this little video. So back onto my start menu, and there I have some different things here. So again, what's happened to it? There we go. If I go into alarms and clock, this is my favorite thing so far. I know it's only the little things that matter. You may notice I've got 3 time elements up here. I've got the local time here in the UK. I've got the time in New York and the time in Tel Aviv. Well, I have kids that live all over the world, some in Tel Aviv, well, in Israel, and some, my daughter lives in New York. So for me, it's important to know what time it is in each of those locations at any moment. So if I go into alarms and clocks, and you'll see it takes a moment, but I've got now the world clock, the world with the clocks and a visual of the time. And if I go into the little 2 clocks down here, it brings me up a timeline. So if I want to know, I want to make a meeting with someone at 2 o'clock local time, it tells me immediately what time that will be in the other locations. I can move along and see where we'll be, whether it will be dark, and you'll see the time changes there, which I think is quite a neat little feature. And I can set alarms, and I can set timers and stopwatch, all the usual things that you would expect within there. So as to the programs themselves, well, I've already got Office 2013 on my laptop because that's what I use, and I've rearranged my start menu so that they're all there at the top. How do we move things around? Well, let's say that I want to move one note up. I'll just click and drag, So with the mouse I'm just dragging, or I can, with my finger, I can point and I can drag it down. You can't see my finger, but I'm moving it with my finger. And I also get these pins where I can choose to unpin it, or I can choose what size I want it to be. I can even turn the live tile off, which you could do in Windows 8 as well. So if I want to find all of the applications that are in my machine, I'll go to All Apps, remember All Programs, and at the top I've got my recently added. And then I've got them in alphabetical order, so 0 to 9, 3D Builder, which is, I haven't really played with it, but I think if you need a free 3D printer for that one, you can build things if you have a 3D printer. And then there's all the different things that I have on my machine. So you can see I've got lots of stuff there. And just like in Windows 8, it has full screen apps. So if I want to go into, where's Twitter? Where's Twitter? Twitter. Okay, so I can't see Twitter. There it is. But let's, whoa, I don't know what I clicked. But let's pretend that I can't find Twitter and I want to find it. So here's the search functionality. So down here you've got this little search the web on Windows. Pops up a menu and I can search for Twitter. Now notice it gives me my stuff. It's going to search through my documents and pictures, and I can even search the web from here. Obviously I need to have an internet connection. So if I want to go into the Trusted Store app, which I've got on my machine, I click at the top and I can log into Twitter, which I will. There we go. Let's log into Twitter and it will bring me up a nice clean notifications, home, exactly as you expect Twitter to behave. So now that I'm logged in, if I go back and I find Twitter, I saw it here in the list, there we go, it should go straight in. I shouldn't need to log in again. So there we go, a very quick overview. And the other thing that's new, which I quite like, is this one. So we've got Task View here. Task View opens up a list of all of the things that are open on my desktop. So you can see I've got my Camtasia recorder there, is how I'm recording this video. My Skype for Business is open, and Skype. So I can move over to that program. But what I can also do with this is I can have a new desktop, and in desktop 2, I could have PowerPoint open. So I'm going to open up PowerPoint, and you know that feeling when you have lots of programs open and you can't quite see what's going on and you're not sure. So I can come right over here to the side and go back to the desktop. I can go to my task view, and now I've got 2 desktops running, desktop 1 and desktop 2. So if I go back to desktop 1, I've only got the things in desktop 1. And if I go back to desktop 2, then there's my PowerPoint presentation running. So again, desktop 1 and desktop 2. So it's like running a second version of your desktop on the machine. And I think that's it, except for Edge. I'll just have a quick look at Edge, which is Microsoft's new browser. It's very clean. I've actually added my favorites bar back to it because I was lost without it. But if you don't want it, you don't have to have it. You can open up the favorites and you can import them from your previous browser. You can see the history, and this is rather nice. You have a reading list. So if I want to, let's say, keep this article, I can click the favorite item here, and I will add it to my reading list, which has disappeared. I don't really mean that one. There must be another one. Well, I'll come back to that later, unless it's this one, you bookmark it. No, I will come back and play with Edge and show you that in a bit more detail. I only downloaded this yesterday. So over here on the right hand side, I can expand my hidden icons. Obviously it's Dropbox, and this is where I get my connections. So by clicking on there, I can go into my connections. This of course is sound, and this is also new. It's called New Notifications or Action Center. So by clicking on the Action Center, it shows the things that are going on. So it thinks that there's something in mail. It's giving me some security, something for my laptop, and quick ways of going and seeing what's going on over here. So Action Center, another new feature in Windows 10. And I'm sure that as I use Windows 10 over the next few days, I will discover many more useful little features, and I'll come back and show them to you in another video at some point soon. So here we are back in Edge, and I just wanted to update you on that add to reading list feature. What that does, it allows you to keep your article to read later. So let's go to this article about Jeremy Clarkson signing up with the Amazon for programs on Amazon Prime. I can click on the add to favorites up there, and you'll see that it gives me the option of adding it to my favorites or to my reading list. Now, because I practiced just before, it's popped up with reading list. I can leave the title or name it something else, and then I'll click add. What you can hear is that video playing, and I am going to go back a page so that video stops. So now if I come to my reading list, there is my article, which means that I can go and read the cached version of the article. That's the one that's saved in the memory, even if I lose my internet connection. So it's quite a neat little feature, and I just wanted to update that little video. I knew how to do it, but it completely escaped me at the time. So there you have how to save something as a favorite into your reading list to read at a later time. So thanks for watching. This is Shelley Fishel. This is my first take on Windows 10 with PowerTips 365.